Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for the collective for this conjunction between Mercury and Uranus in the very end of Taurus. So, because this is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So, you see both of them in your reading today, although in this spread there are only tarot cards. And I just wanted to sit down and pull cards for this conjunction because on the 17th of May, there was the conjunction between the Sun and Uranus, which I did a collective reading for that as well. The most unusual and odd reading that I've done. And yeah, unexpectedly, it came out as a two-part reading, so you can find that here in my channel. And I feel like it was just my duty to pull cards for this conjunction between Mercury and Uranus, just because it's at the very end of Taurus and we are just a few days from the new moon in Gemini, where, you know, Mercury is going to move from Taurus into Gemini and it's going to be at home, let's say, because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So there is a lot that needs to be said. I feel like there is this channel of communication that is going to be open, especially with the new moon in Gemini, but also when Mercury enters into Gemini, and soon after, in a few months from now, in the beginning of July, Uranus also steps into Gemini. So Uranus deals with all sorts of quick, radical changes that just take us by surprise, and it's kind of like that expect the unexpected type of message. So I feel like there is some of that in this message today, but I feel like there are things that are meant to be remembered, and that is one way of opening this channel of communication, because I feel like there is there is information about something that you're meant to remember, that in the collective we're all meant to remember at this moment in time, in regards to a very specific, a very loving relationship. Sorry. And I feel like alone, you cannot go so far into this memory that you can see what's next. It's almost like by ourselves, we can only reach this point back in the past where we know where this connection started, let's say, in this life or in past lives. And I am very strongly picking up the energy of past lives in this case. But I feel like this message wants to highlight a blind spot that we haven't yet paid attention to because it's out of sight. So even if we have the ability as a collective to illuminate something from the past and to go to a specific point that is the beginning of that, from then on, it's like it's still a mystery. It's still this unknown place. And I feel like this is where a few friends are coming in to help hold space so that you can see more, so that we can all see further what's ahead, which is very beautiful because, as I said, this reading is very focused in one particular relationship, and it could be read in a very romantic way because we're beginning with the Two of Cups. So straight away, when I saw this Two of Cups, I got the impression that it wanted to stick to its original meaning of the Two of Cups as a romantic partnership, a romantic relationship. But it wants to go to the place of innocence where two hearts connect before there's any sort of sexual tension or attraction. It's something that is so pure. It's not naive, but it is very innocent. It is very pure. It is very truthful, because your heart cannot deny when you are standing in front of a person that has the same heart resonance as you. So this is something that is kind of like this undeniable connection, right? Heart to heart connection. And just so you know, the bottom of the deck, I'm already going to show it because it is very significant, because although we're starting with the Two of Cups, which would be the minor way of understanding relationships, we do have at the bottom the Lovers, which is this higher love, which it's like it's this attraction that is not just a bodily attraction. It's not just a human chemical type of attraction. It's something that is way more powerful, and it is happening in other dimensions as well. It's like it's going to other realms, not just this human realm, although it is manifesting here, right? It is in the realm of, you know, the day-to-day. And I feel like that brings this clarity, which is the Sun. So the Sun here is the highlight. It wants to highlight something that perhaps you already knew somehow. You already had some sort of idea of what this is about, right? Maybe as soon as I said that, you know, this message was connected to a romantic relationship, maybe you already brought somebody to mind. So if that's the case, I feel like it's going to just become clearer and clearer and clearer by the day, right? That's what I heard. It's like it's clear by the day. So as each day passes by, it's like the more you're going to realize the extent or the power of this connection. And I feel like that's because you're remembering more and more and more because of the Six of Cups. And so it's interesting because the Six of Cups is the central card here. And yesterday in the extended for Libra, I mentioned the fact that there was this very powerful remembrance that was being triggered for Libra because they were ready to free themselves from something that they kept inside their heart. But it wasn't nostalgic or sad or, you know, carrying some sort of weight, right? Of like, you know, feeling like, you know, your childhood was, you know, the good old days, and now your life is no longer that. So I said that if the Six of Cups was in that reading, perhaps it would bring that energy, that nostalgic feeling. And it wasn't the case for Libra, but for some reason, it feels like there is this nostalgic feeling here for the collective. But I feel like it's not carrying any sad feeling. Instead, it's carrying kind of like this joyful surprise. It's almost like waking up to the sun shining and just being delighted, right? It's like being enchanted by the beauty of something so simple. It feels very simple. It feels like there is this innocence to this, right? It started with the Two of Cups, but then it's like the more it grows inside your heart, it's like the more it grows inside your memory, the more you remember, the more we all remember. Maybe it's just like, you know, the connection with our own heart. Although I do feel like strongly this is connected to a relationship. But this could be a relationship with self, right? So the more that we remember that, it's like we know who we are. So the more we know who we are, the more remember that, the more we are able to offer this heart, right? This very innocent, truthful heart to somebody else. And it's not like losing a piece of you to give it to somebody else. It's kind of like this, the same thing that I was seeing here with the Lovers. It's like this reciprocal flow that goes and comes, right? And the birds are here, which I love. So it is a very gentle, a very emotional remembrance, perhaps. Yes, it carries a nostalgic feeling, but it's not something that is sad, right? And so the more we all remember who we are and who we are in relation to a specific person, it's like the more we can go back to the point where it started. Because the Five of Pentacles here is just talking about like reaching this memory that it's like we can pinpoint now the memory where this first emotional connection, heart-to-heart connection started, was initiated. It's like this is marking the spot, marking the place, maybe the moment in time that we first felt this. And I want to say it's not necessarily connected to the same person, although it could be. I feel like with the Six of Cups, there is this connection to past lives, as I said. So it's like going back so much in time that you can, it's like you find the original place that you first met. You find the original place that you first felt this heart-to-heart connection. So whether it's with the same person or not, it's the feeling. And it's interesting because I wonder if you are certain that, you know, maybe you're doing a past life regression and you are going back to a specific point. It's like the details of the place, it's like they're so specific. It's like you remember everything about this place, right? But most of all, you remember because you remember the feeling of standing in front of this person who has the same heart vibration, the same frequency that you had. So that's because it's like there is such openness. And that's the reason why I feel like you are able to go back there, right? And have clarity about this place. It's like the sun is illuminating that. It's like this highlight that is being shown at the specific point in time, right? Or in space, perhaps, where you both felt each other's hearts. And as I said, it's like you perhaps don't necessarily need to have the proper image of who this is, although I do feel like if you are resonating with this, maybe you already have somebody in mind. But there might be kind of like this precision in regards to the environment, because it's Five of Pentacles. So it's like you remember the floor, you remember the furniture, you remember, you know, the space, the smell, all of that. But maybe when you go to the memory, to the specific memory of this person's face, that it's like, that is just, it's like it's just blurred. It's like you don't see that, right, with the Two of Swords. And that's the reason why I feel like if you go back to the feeling, you will trust what you're feeling instead of trust what you cannot see. Because I feel like you're still taking steps. It's like you still want to go back and investigate this more. It's like the more details you, it's like you acquire or you remember of this specific place, it's like the more integrity you're going to hold in your own being. But that's not necessarily quite enough, I feel like, for you to actually perceive the face, right? Or have more clarity. It's almost like the image is out of focus, right? It's like you have focus of all of the other details, but not the person. Because what matters first in this remembrance, right? What is the most blissful feeling, right? Is the heart-to-heart connection. So that is what triggers this nostalgic yet very joyful and very beautiful and very innocent remembrance, because you have found the place. It's like everything is already in place. You have come to the point where you can identify where this first connection was made. Yes, there are a few details that perhaps you cannot, it's like you cannot define. The silhouette is not completely in focus. It's like you you don't know who this is, right? But I feel like if you are in a situation where, in fact, you are having very potent remembrances triggered by this feeling of a very beautiful connection, right? A heart-to-heart connection. And you are, it's like you can go so far here to hold intact this integrity that you, it's almost like you're diving into these remembrances. And so it's like each time you, it's like you leave this more concrete, more well-defined mark, right? So it's like you can go back, you know, each time that you go and do a regression, each time that you do a meditation, each time that you go, you know, to sleep and you dream about this place, right? It's like it's becoming more and more recurrent. It's like this repetitive going to this place because you use your feeling, right? It's like this heart-to-heart connection is what helps you, what triggers you to go back there. So you hold yourself in a very integral place here. But because you cannot move any further by yourself, this is where it's like you're asking for help, because see here how the Five of Pentacles is inside the Seven of Pentacles, but there are 2 extra pentacles on the sides. And I feel like this is you asking for help, you know, and I feel like this is almost like asking for friends to come and sit in a circle with you, right? Because to me, the Seven of Pentacles have become this card of this very sacred circle where sacred work is being done with the focus on, you know, this intentional inner thing, whatever it is in the center, right? And I feel like what's in the center for you is this remembrance of this connection that you cannot see, because it's almost like you see here how the hearts are pointing down and the arrows are pointing up. It's kind of like you need somebody else's perspective to come together in this circle with you, so that you, from where you're standing, which is already a place of, you know, integrity, and it is it's like you're holding space for this memory to become more and more highlighted, more and more clear with the sun, right? So it's like the more you go back, the more you are highlighting this place. But if you want to see what's ahead, so it's kind of like you have the ability to go back in time, but when you try to see where this is going to take you to the future, it's like you cannot, right? So you can go back very easily, right? Because you're holding yourself in integrity. You know what is the place that you need to go back to. However, when you go back in time and when you come back to the present, and if you try to see what's next, what is the future potential, right, coming from this remembrance, this is where you get lost. This is where things get out of focus. And so when you ask for these ones to come together with you, I feel like there is this, it's like this more potent, intentional coming together in circle specifically, and maybe you're the one who is in the center, right? But you're also on the edge, because it's like you are maybe, so this is what I'm seeing. It's like your intention is the focus, right? So of course you have to be there, but there are others who are, it's like they're also going to help hold space for you in matter, right? It's important that all of you are together in one place, I feel like, coming together in a circle, because this is where they're going to help you see another perspective. And instead of just going back to the past, it's like this time you're going to have a vision of the future, right? Which before you couldn't do by yourself. And I feel like these ones, they are facilitating this other type of remembrance, which is a remembrance from the future that reveals to you these 2 cards. So the King of Swords with the Page of Wands. I just wanted to make sure that it was the right suit. So these two cards actually came together, and the King of Swords came before, and then I saw the Page of Wands. And I feel like the King of Swords here is not exactly so surprising because, as I said, with the Two of Cups, it feels like you already know who this is, right? And I feel like it is this King of Swords. It is being represented by somebody that is like the first person that comes to mind when you think about this heartfelt, heart-to-heart connection. The surprise, and this is perhaps the part that you couldn't see unless you had the help of these friends, these trusted friends that would, willingly so hold space for you to have this breakthrough and have this vision of the future, is because actually this King of Swords is the one who was blocking the view of what's next. And it's not an intentional thing. It's just that for you to see what's next, which is the Page of Wands, which I do feel like it represents a child or something together, right? You first have to come together with the King of Swords. And so it is something that, of course, you could not see the page before, right? Because before you have to see the King of Swords. And I feel like this connection is already established, right? As I said, the bottom of the deck being the Lovers. This is something that transcends this human heart-to-heart connection. This is something that is such a beautiful, sacred bond that I feel like your heart and their heart, right? The King of Swords heart. It's like it's just in this connection, right? And it's interesting because here with one heart pointing down and then, a heart with a thorn, right? Or a splinter. It's like it's pointing up. If you put these two together, which I feel like this is what, this group is helping you to do, we have this. So instead of having, just the image that you could already sense with this Two of Cups, the image of this person, right? Or the feeling of being together with them. It's almost like they are in the realm of truth. They are in the realm of spirit. And it's not to say that they are not embodied, because I do feel like they are being the king, right? But it's just the fact that you didn't have the clarity, enough clarity about them. But now, because of the help of the friends, it's like the heart from the Two of Cups and the other heart with the splinter that has no longer a splinter, right? Because it has transcended that. It's like they meet in the middle, right? And that's the reason why I feel like what you couldn't see before, now you can, which is this page. So it's like the thing that both of you are meant to co-create, are meant to bring about, are meant to bring to life, right? It feels like a child. So that's the reason why I feel like there is such innocence in this reading today. It's like it comes from this one, but it also comes from this one. And this might be the surprising factor that you couldn't see before, right? Because you had to see the King of Swords first. And nevertheless, it's almost like the innocence that is already here it's like it's bleeding through. So you pick up the innocence already when you think about this one, when you feel the heart of this King of Swords. But this is what's coming next, right? It's like maybe this is going to come into view with a lot more precision, but it's because it's being felt rather than seen, right? First of all. So, with that said, I feel like, this is still something that needs to be experienced. I feel like maybe you're in the middle of going through this past life regression, and, this bottom line here with the Two of Swords ending up with the Page of Wands is still about to be seen, right? It's still something that hasn't quite come into view yet. But it is coming, right? And it is very potent because this is where the two hearts connect, like really, really connect. And the bond is like, it's undeniable. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go next. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.